Hi everybody. Um, Wanted to make just one quick note for Dr. Kailema. You might have two videos from me. I emailed you about this, but I haven't heard back yet, so I just figured I would do another one. But I sent in a video submission Wednesday night, and it said it was awaiting approval. But it's Saturday and it is still not up, so I feel like it's probably not there. Um, but if you do have it like in your queue for some reason, then that's why I'm doing this second video. Um, okay, so that was my preface. Um, I watched the documentary or the movie, of course, and uh, so for the first question, I'm just looking at my notes that I jotted down while I watched the movie. Um, I mean, for the first question, like, I'm white, and I had not seen this film before, and I actually found it, I felt a profound sense of shame pretty much the entire time I was watching it. A lot of parts were very upsetting, and just it was just very emotional for me. If you may or may not recall, but I don't come from a social work background in my education or in my experience. So like a lot of the things that I'm learning um, are new, are the way that I'm learning them, I guess, are, newer to me. It's not from my previous education. So, um, yeah, I feel like a lot of people might, a lot of you have come from social work or psychology backgrounds, but for me, a lot of this is just fresh, and I'm just showing my privilege. But it was definitely very, I felt just so much, just shame is really as honest as I can be. Um, some things that stood out to me were the images of Dorothy Counts going to school in North Carolina. Those images were just really powerful to me. Just how like fierce and determined she was to go to that school after desegregation occurred, and just the humiliation and the pain that she endured. Just to see those images of her were just really powerful. Some other things that were striking to me were, like the signs, the picket signs of the white protesters, signs just saying like unthinkable things, like, you know, um, what was it? Race mixing is communism. Like, wow. And then there was a woman who was interviewed, and she compared the sins of adultery and murder with integration. Like those were all on par. Like those three things were somehow all equal in her mind, and that was just mind-blowing to me that someone would say that out loud, and that someone would actually think that. Something else was the government film that was put out called The Land We Love. It was just shown a couple minutes of it, but it was like this lovely video about how wonderful America is, and what I found really poignant was that it was, like for the minutes that we saw, it was a nice video, but I noticed that there were no Black people in that video. There may have been in other parts of it, but I kind of doubt it. But I just, you're missing a large part of your population in that video to talk about how, and I think the verbiage, was something like, freedom and everything for everybody, but definitely not everyone was represented in that video. For the second question, I thought what Baldwin said about we have a moral apathy problem, and that, you know, that white people in general are moral monsters. He said, there's brother killing brother, and just no one cares. And I just thought, that rang true to me the way, it rang true to me, now, as it did then, like, it's just, we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to think about it. And he also said that how can we talk about this American dream if the people who literally helped build this country, were a huge part of building this country, don't even have access to that American dream? How do we have an American dream? And I thought that was something to really think about. Something else he said that I thought was interesting was that I've never heard before, is that immaturity is an American virtue. I was like, huh. Yeah, I mean, just lately, the people that we choose to lead our country, yeah, immaturity currently does seem to be an American virtue, and the people that we choose to put in power really says something. Okay, I'm running out of time. Question 3. I think that the best way that what lessons we can take from Baldwin as future social workers is really inward self-examination, especially for someone like me as a white person, and to take responsibility for the part that we have played, historically, generationally, and just really just self-examine and because I just don't think otherwise things can't change if we don't do that. And then I also think that any fears that exist with working with people other than yourself, we have to find a way to let that go, because it's unfounded and unwarranted, and we can't truly help or work with others if fear exists. So that was the main thing that I took, is that we have to just examine ourselves first and take responsibility for what has taken place in our country. Okay, thanks.